The sun beats down on the crowded streets of Manila, where jeepneys honk and vendors shout over the chaos. In the corner of a cracked sidewalk, a young boy named Raphael strums an old, battered guitar. The strings are slightly rusted, the wood scratched and faded, but it's his most precious possession. Dressed in a thin shirt and worn-out sandals, Raphael sings softly to the rhythm of his heart. His voice, smooth yet trembling with emotion, rises above the city noise, a melody filled with pain, hope, and longing. People pass by, some drop coins into his small tin can, others just walk past without a glance. Yet Raphael keeps singing, eyes closed, lost in the lyrics of Break Even by the script. Each word feels personal, a reflection of his struggles after losing his father and watching his mother grow weaker every day. His dream is simple, to earn enough for her medicine, maybe even a proper meal tonight. As the last note fades, a tourist with a camera pauses, mesmerized. She records Raphael's performance, his raw voice echoing through the narrow streets. You have an amazing gift, she says before walking away. Raphael smiles shyly, unaware that her video will soon change his life. That night, as he counts a few coins beside his sleeping mother, his phone buzzes, a flood of notifications. His video has gone viral. Comments pour in. This boy deserves the world, someone get him on AGT. Raphael's heart pounds. Then, a message appears. Hello, this is America's Got Talent. We'd love to invite you to audition. He stares at the screen, tears blurring his vision. Clutching his guitar, he whispers, Mama, I made it. The city outside keeps moving, but Raphael's world has just stopped. The bright lights of America's Got Talent are blinding as Raphael steps onto the grand stage. His small hands clutch his old, weathered guitar, the same one he played on the streets of Manila. The stage feels enormous, the crowd endless. For a moment, he freezes. He can hear his heartbeat louder than the audience murmurs. Hello there, what's your name? Asks Simon Cowell, leaning forward, curious about the shy boy standing before him. My name is Raphael, he says softly, his accent gentle but clear. I'm from the Philippines. The audience claps warmly. Heidi Klum smiles. How old are you? I'm 13, he replies. I used to sing on the streets to help my mom. This is my dream. There's a hush in the room. Even Simon's usual stern face softens slightly. All right, Raphael, he says. Whenever you're ready. Raphael closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. The first soft strum of his guitar echoes through the theater. Then, his voice begins, fragile yet filled with power. I'm still alive but I'm barely breathing. The words pour out like a confession. Every note carries years of pain, hope, and love. The crowd leans in, stunned by the emotion of this small boy from halfway across the world. Simon's eyes never leave him, he looks almost entranced. When Raphael reaches the chorus, his voice cracks slightly, not from nerves, but from genuine feeling. The sound of his pain fills the entire room. By the final line, what am I supposed to do when the best part of me was always you, the audience rises in a thunderous standing ovation. Raphael opens his eyes, trembling and breathless. For the first time, he feels seen, truly seen. The final note of Break Even fades into silence, echoing softly across the grand theater. For a few seconds, nobody moves. The audience sits frozen, not out of indifference, but awe. Then, like a wave crashing, the crowd erupts into a thunderous standing ovation. Raphael stands motionless, his small hands trembling around his old guitar. His chest rises and falls quickly, he can hardly believe what just happened. The bright stage lights blur with the tears forming in his eyes. Heidi Klum wipes her cheeks, whispering, that was beautiful. Sofia Vergara nods, her voice breaking. You made us all feel your heart, Raphael. But everyone's eyes are on Simon Cowell. Known for his brutal honesty and sharp words, he sits in uncharacteristic silence, staring at the boy before him. The camera zooms in as Simon leans forward, resting his chin on his hand. His expression softens, and for the first time that night, he looks genuinely moved. Raphael, Simon begins slowly, his voice lower than usual, I've heard thousands of singers on this stage, but what you just did, he pauses, searching for words. You didn't just sing that song. You lived it. The crowd cheers louder, but Simon isn't finished. I could feel your pain, your love, your story, all in your voice. That's something you can't fake. Raphael bites his lip, trying not to cry, whispering, thank you, sir. Simon smiles faintly, almost fatherly. Don't thank me yet, he says. You have no idea what's coming next. The audience gasps, sensing what's about to happen. Simon glances at the golden buzzer in front of him, his fingers hovering just above. Cowell stares down at the golden buzzer. The golden light above the stage glimmers, reflecting in Raphael's teary eyes. His heart beats so fast he can hear it echo in his ears. The audience senses something extraordinary is about to happen. Simon finally stands up, his expression soft yet serious. Raphael, he says, his voice carrying through the silence, when you walked on this stage, I saw a nervous young boy. But when you started singing, I saw a star, a true artist. The crowd cheers, some people already on their feet. Simon glances briefly at the other judges, then back at Raphael. You didn't just perform a song, he continues. You told us your story, with every note, every breath. That's what America's Got Talent is all about. Then, with a small smile, Simon lifts his hand and slams the golden buzzer. In an instant, the theater explodes into a burst of gold. Confetti rains down from the ceiling like a shimmering storm. Raphael's knees buckle as emotion overwhelms him. He drops to the floor, clutching his guitar, crying uncontrollably. The crowd chants his name, Raphael. Raphael. Simon steps up onto the stage, walking through the golden rain. He kneels beside Raphael and gently helps him up. You deserve this, Simon says, pulling him into a hug. You're proof that talent can come from anywhere, even the streets of Manila. Raphael's tears mix with the golden glitter on his face. Cameras flash, capturing the moment that will be seen by millions around the world. As the confetti keeps falling, Raphael looks up at the sky of gold and whispers through his tears. Mom, I did it. Weeks after his unforgettable golden buzzer moment, Raphael steps off the plane in Manila, greeted by a sea of cheering faces. News cameras flash, children wave homemade signs, and strangers chant his name. The same boy who once sang for coins on the streets is now a symbol of hope for an entire nation. He walks through the airport holding his old guitar, still scratched, still worn, but now shining under the lights like a trophy. Reporters surround him, asking how it feels to be an international sensation. Raphael smiles humbly. I'm just happy I can finally take care of my mom, he says softly. Later that evening, Raphael returns to his old neighborhood. The same narrow street, the same smell of roasted corn and traffic fumes, but everything feels different. Neighbors rush out of their homes to welcome him. Children tug at his sleeve, asking him to sing again. His mother, frail but smiling, waits by their small doorway, tears glistening in her eyes. Raphael kneels before her and hugs her tightly. Mama, he whispers, his voice breaking, we don't have to worry anymore. She strokes his hair and says, you were always meant for something greater, my son. As the sun sets, Raphael takes out his guitar and sits on the same sidewalk where it all began. This time, when he sings, Break Even, the crowd isn't just passers-by, it's the entire community, singing with him. Camera crews capture the moment. A poor Filipino street singer, now a global inspiration, returning home with gold confetti still in his memory and love in his heart. When the last note fades, his mother wipes her tears and smiles proudly. You didn't just sing, Raphael, she says softly. You changed lives.